There's confidence, and then there's elite confidence. The kind that doesn't flinch under pressure. The kind that doesn't need to shout to be heard. The kind that walks into any room and commands respect without saying a single word. The kind of confidence that doesn't come from mindset hacks or motivational quotes. It comes from one thing: mastery. When you master your craft, whatever it is, you stop pretending and start performing. You don't need permission to feel confident. You've earned it. And that's exactly what we build inside my private coaching program. We train men to develop mastery in the areas that actually matter: strength, leadership, execution, communication, and so much more. We strip away the fluff, focus on real progress, and turn average guys into dangerous men. If you're ready to start walking like a man who owns his lane, hit the first link in the description below and join us. Now let's break down exactly how mastering your craft leads to elite level confidence and how to get there faster than most men ever will. Mastery starts with choosing a lane and owning it. The biggest mistake that most men make when chasing confidence is trying to do everything. They spread themselves thin across 5 different pursuits, hoping that being decent at many things will somehow give them an edge. It doesn't. Confidence isn't about doing a lot. It's about doing something exceptionally well. The path to elite confidence starts with one decision: pick your lane and own it. Whether it's physical strength, public speaking, building a business, leading others, or developing a craft, you need to choose something worth mastering and make it your mission. When you choose a lane and commit, your entire mindset shifts. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop questioning what you should do. You become laser focused on getting better. And that clarity breeds momentum, which eventually breeds excellence. As you build depth in one domain, you gain something far more powerful than random skills. You gain identity. You become known as the guy who can do that thing, not just talk about it. And when people recognize your ability, your own belief strengthens it. So if you're feeling scattered, it's time to zoom in. Stop trying to do everything. Start becoming elite at something. That's the foundation of confidence, and the first step toward being someone other men respect and rely on. Point 2. Repetition builds authority, and authority breeds confidence. Here's something you've probably experienced. The more times you've done something, the less you hesitate when you do it again. That's not a coincidence. It's how mastery works. Repetition is how skill becomes second nature. And when something becomes second nature, you start feeling unshakable. Confidence doesn't come from guessing. It comes from knowing. And knowing comes from doing something over and over until it's locked into your system. You don't hesitate to tie your shoes or brush your teeth because you've done it 1,000 times. The same principle applies to public speaking, sales, combat, or leadership. Every repetition is a deposit in your confidence account. Most men underestimate how powerful consistent practice is. They want to be great now, but the ones who dominate, they're the ones who show up every day and put in the reps. That's where authority is born. And once you develop authority in your skill, you become the guy others trust. You become the man who leads the room, who takes the shot, who gets asked for advice, but because your experience has given you quiet certainty. Repetition also builds your mental strength. It's something that you get used to. You learn to handle boredom, setbacks, plateaus, and that kind of resilience multiplies your confidence over time. The bottom line: don't chase excitement, chase mastery. Do the reps, build the muscle. The man who's done it 1,000 times walks taller than the man who's just started. Point 3. Mastery creates proof, and proof kills self-doubt. Most of your self-doubt doesn't come from your potential. It comes from your lack of proof. You might feel like you're capable, but until you see the evidence, it's just a theory. Mastery is what turns that theory into proof. When you consistently practice, improve, and deliver results, you start collecting wins, tangible, undeniable wins. And those wins become the receipts your confidence is built on. You don't need to pump yourself up when you already have a list of problems that you already solved, goals that you've crushed, and people that you've impacted. You look back at your own track record and say, I've done this. That's confidence without fluff. And this is exactly what I help men do inside my private coaching program. We track your progress. We train your real world results. We make sure your efforts lead to proof, not just feelings. When you've got proof, you don't need to second guess yourself anymore. You just execute. A man who's mastered his craft doesn't walk around fishing for validation. He doesn't need hype. He's seen himself deliver again and again. And that consistency rounds out the noise in his head. If you're tired of wondering whether you have what it takes, stop wondering. Join my private coaching program. Lock in a system that pushes results and start stacking real wins that rewrite the way you see yourself. Confidence becomes unshakable when it's built on evidence, and mastery is where that evidence begins. Mastery attracts respect without effort. One of the most overlooked benefits of mastery is how it changes how the world treats you. When you're elite at something, people notice. You don't have to advertise it so much. You don't have to ask for attention. Mastery speaks louder than self-promotion ever could. Men respect other men who own their domain, whether it's fitness, business, craftsmanship, leadership, or a specific skill. When you've put in the work and refined your ability, people listen differently when you speak. They watch how you move. And they pay attention not because you demanded it, but because you've actually earned it. This respect isn't just an external thing either. It bleeds into how you see yourself. You walk with the weight of knowing you're dependable. You've built something. You've sharpened yourself. You don't feel like an imposter because you've put in too many hours to question your place. And that's the difference between fake confidence and elite confidence. One needs to be inflated. The other is just there, like a backbone. Mastery makes you magnetic, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because people are naturally drawn to competence. The best part? You don't need to compete for attention anymore. You're not trying to be the loudest guy in the room. You're the guy who's built something worth noticing. That's quiet strength. That's respect earned through craft, not clout. You want respect? Get so good they can't ignore you. Point 5. Mastery creates momentum that carries into every area of life. Here's the part most men don't expect. When you master one area of life, it lifts everything else with it. And that momentum bleeds into your mindset, your relationships, your physical health, and your decision making. Why? Because the discipline, focus, and standards you developed in mastering your craft changes who you are at your core. You stop making excuses. You start thinking long term. You operate with purpose. That shift affects how you carry yourself everywhere else. Let's say you master your training. You become disciplined, calculated, strong. That physical competence makes you more confident in business, more secure in your relationships, and more respected in your social life. Not completely because of how you look, but because of who you became in the process. Confidence multiplies when it's backed by momentum, and that momentum is built through consistency. The more competent you become, the more doors open. You start seeing yourself differently, and others do too. Mastery gives you clarity. You stop getting distracted by noise. You stop chasing comfort. You start owning your path, and every win builds the next one. That's how confident men get built. One step, one skill, one improvement at a time. If you're stuck in neutral, this is the way out. Choose something meaningful, commit to mastery, and watch the rest of your life level up with it. Elite confidence isn't a performance. It's not something you fake, force, or borrow. It's something you build, and you build it by mastering your craft. When you get obsessed with getting better, when you train, practice, improve, and dominate, you stop needing tricks to feel confident. You become confident because you've seen what you're capable of. You've earned your ability. You know what you bring to the table. And if you're done pretending and ready to build something that makes you unshakable, my private coaching program is your next step. We give you tools, structure, and accountability to sharpen your edge and dominate your domain. Hit the first link in the description to start working with us. The world respects skill. Master yours and walk like a man who doesn't need to fake anything.